Yes, welcome back everyone to our long-awaited opinion poll. We love being with you guys. We love sharing our opinions. Tracy, don't you?
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly, we do.
And so today we're going to be discussing a less chaotic topic.
Yeah.
You know how we're always up and down and at each other's throats? I really hope it's going to come this time. No.
Tracy, yesterday we met a person and he was like, why
we
are you
always
guys
fighting?
always like almost fighting in the
real?
opinion poll?
Oh my God, who was that? At
We're
the
like,
event?
Are we
But
embarrassed?
it's only the two of you. You realize that I'm always the one who is quiet, and I'm like, for real, I'm always the one on the good side. I don't
We
know
are
about
always
you
on
guys.
the good, on the
Get
same
out.
side. Why
Yeah.
would we fight? We fight with
You
you.
guys fight a lot. Eh, man. You guys need to be loving, sweet like I. Learn from the best.
Be like, all right, let me
To learn from the best.
I'm done. So today's topic, we're going to be discussing, should parents protect their children from conversations or talks about divorce? So this is in light of, let's say you have your children and some parents, you know, they don't want to have tough or awkward conversations with their children because they don't want them, one, to get exposed at an early age, but the question is, what is the early age? And two, sometimes they just feel awkward and they keep saying, oh, I'll have this conversation, and then it ends up happening. So today we're going to be talking about the divorce talk, but at other times it's either the sex talk or it's the period talk, things like that, different conversations. So that is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so I think about divorce. Divorce is something that is very huge. It's something that is, I don't wish anyone to go through that. Yeah, and for those who it has happened to, I believe God has a better plan for them. But these talks about divorce, I think should be held. I think for me on this topic, they shouldn't protect them from not learning it. Rather, they should protect them by teaching them. And from that process, they will learn how to avoid divorce and how divorce happens. Ese, kujangoya divorce iwe haba ichi, you know? What causes it? What pulls it? What are the strings attached to this divorce? So I think with me, I'm not going to say they should protect them from not learning about it, but I mean, from not letting them know, but rather they should protect them by teaching them and telling them about it. Usually people say that experience is the best teacher. Yeah? They should give them examples of this and this happened, but now for you to go around this. Because some people, in marriage, when they get into marriage, okay, well, I'm not yet there, but I think I've done some research and I've learned. Divorce is something that usually is caused by the fact that you're not complementary to each other. There is something that is just not, it's not coming like between you guys. It's just like it's stopping, it's hindering something that should be happening between you guys.
I don't think it's the compliment side.
It's okay, do you know why I'm saying the compliment side? Because if you're fighting over something and you're fought over and over again and you have disagreed upon it over and over again, it causes a breakup when you're still in a relationship. But when you're in marriage, if you disagree about something for over and over and over again, it actually causes divorce. Yeah, I'll keep going on. You guys can also tell me what you think.
Yeah, so let me actually, for the first time, not give my opinion at the end.
Okay, cool.
Yes, so should parents protect their children from divorce or conversations or talks?
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think they should. Of course, there should be an age limit. You're not going to go and talk to your 10-year-old about divorce because they have no idea what's going on. They don't even know that relationships exist, apart from seeing your parents all lovey-dovey. And sometimes it's really unfortunate when you grow up in a broken family, or you either grow up with your mom or with your dad alone, or when you grow up and you find that your parents divorced. That's really sad and unfortunate. But I feel like from the age of 13 is a teenager. You start to understand things. Of course, you can't be thrown into the world with everything and they tell you everything at once, but 15, 16, you get to understand things. And movies, guys, kids really watch a lot of movies. They take a look at different movies with different storylines and they see these things. So instead of getting that information from them, because we already get that information and they will eventually, they can have a source from our parents to teach us such things, because these talks are really important. Like, how would you have survived if okay, because some people do survive, but at least if your mother comes and tells you this is how things go sometimes, life is not as perfect as it seems. And sometimes, as parents, you want to show your children that you and like the wife and the husband are in this perfect relationship. There is no fight, which is unrealistic. Sometimes these things happen, but at the end of the day, you can show your child that even though you fight, you can also fight to make things work and to keep your family as a strong bond. So children should be pulled into these conversations, same as different conversations that should be had, because we always talk about this. Divorce should be one of those topics because we need to know these things. Children need to grow up learning that, yes, sometimes it's very unfortunate that a family can break up, but also different ways to fight for your relationship. Because like you who is entering a marriage, what if your parents just closed you out completely? They didn't tell you anything about their marriage. They told you that, oh, everything is sunshine and cupcakes. And then you unfortunately get there and you're like, okay, I never knew this, which is unfair because we should at least get some heads up to also know that when something bad happens, you don't have to just pack your things and go because that's unrealistic. You have bonded yourselves. So if you are in a marriage, let it be forever. And if something unfortunate makes it not happen, at least be realistic enough to tell your children that it's also a possibility. This is how you can work around it. That's
Exactly. I just agree with everything that you guys said. And divorce is really a critical...
Did you really agree?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
For the very first time, we are all on the same line.
Congratulations and celebrations.
For the very, very
Would like
first
to
time.
tell the world that you're in agreement.
Oh, wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway, so what I was, saying is divorce is really something that happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to happen, and especially with parents who have kids. You know, sometimes you face it rough, and it affects not only you and your man, but also the kids that you are having and the kids that you're raising in the process. Sometimes you see, parents who even like fight and whatever, in front of their kids, and they grow up with this mentality of, maybe this person, the kid is like, I want, they grow up with this mentality of like, I won't fall for a guy, or I won't be in a relationship because this and
those
this.
that choose not even to get
Exactly.
married.
I won't get married because my parents were like this and stuff. But there's something that Tina said. It's I don't think it's wise for parents to fight in front of their kids to show them that these things can happen in a relationship. You can fight behind closed doors. That's okay, and you can come in front of your kids and be okay, and then sit them down, tell them that this thing can happen. This is how relationships go by, but these talks are really important. And, we started talking about it when we started this, opinion poll, and we were like, parents find it weird to sit with us down and be like, you know what, if you go to the menstruation period for the very first time, this is how it is, or if you sex talks or whatever, different things that are really crucial, and divorce is among, the crucial things that we are talking about. Sometimes, whether you like it or not, you can even go, through the divorce, but how do you deal with it? They can teach you how to protect yourself from not getting into a divorce, but they can also teach you if you reach into that divorce, how do you deal with it? It's not the end, because some people think that if you divorce, then that's the end of everything. But they can teach you how to prevent yourself from getting the divorce, or even if you get the divorce, how do you deal with it after that life of being divorced? So that is what I think.
Yeah.
True. Getting after that life, which is also a very necessary thing, because you find that during that period that people have moved on, that's when there's too much depression, there's so much isolation,
people think
so
that
much
it's
loneliness.
the end of it because it's not something that is normal to see around here. You cannot get,
True.
Yeah.
So I think just to go by this, I believe that it's definitely a goal on teaching and protecting, of course, the youth, the children, the people that are still
Future
really growing
families.
up, and especially the ones that are in the process of teenage, or how can I say it? That age that is when you're done with the teenager, because when you're done with teenage, it's 19. Starting from 20 and above, they need to be taught and they need to learn. Just like also, you refused my topic that I told you last time, how girls, you refused it, simple and clear. Let me tell the whole world.
Next time you should get and post it yourself. Refuse it.
Anyway, so just like how girls are taught to be wives, and that's how also men need to be taught how to be good husbands.
That's what we're going to do on Thursday.
Because you find that sometimes divorce is caused by what? That maybe the husband beats the wife. Maybe he is not doing his rightful duties, and you find that the wife is tired and just seeks for a divorce. Or it's vice versa. The wife is, I've never seen that, beating the husband or doing this.
Or having
but
probably
it happens.
infidelity, or he's
Cheating,
so
yeah.
things
But there's
like
one
that.
thing that, you said of, is it, divorce happens because of, what did you say, of compatibility?
Complementary, like being complementary to each other.
Exactly. Of which sometimes you find that even in the most cases of people who divorce, there are these people who love each other most because it happens. I swear upon the living God, this thing happens. You don't know it?
Don't swear upon the living
Because-
God.
I'm just saying because I know.
The Bible says don't swear.
Okay, I'm sorry. But it is what it is.
Madam, child of a bishop.
Let me tell you guys, sometimes you find that the ego that we have, the ego that I have, and the ego that my man has doesn't allow us to, like,
You have a man.
it's just an example. Doesn't allow one of us to be down to earth. Like, you guys fight one day.
That is you. That is you.
Listen, you guys
That
fight.
is the best example of yourself when you get a man. God.
Listen,
God better give you a husband who is down
Can
to
I
earth.
talk?
Because, my God, if both of you are here, heaven will come down.
Like,
so
someone
this is
that-
an example. This is an example.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. Are you guys listening?
Right?
Listening?
You see, like those two are complementary. One is down to earth, the other one is,
Can you
hey,
chill? Let's go.
talk.
Whatever. So I was like, you guys fight once, then nobody comes down to apologize. You keep it. The next fight comes up, you keep it as well, and then it reaches the level of you guys not even being able to hold it anymore. But yet you love each other, and then you end up.
Experience is the best teacher. And then you end up.
like splitting. In a relationship, it happens, you split, but then
Yeah.
during a marriage, it can lead to.
Don't you know? Here in Rwanda or Africa, our business is not so much out there. You know how couples, when they even divorce, we don't know why.
God is so
But in the-
international. Now she's going to take us to the US.
No, I'm trying
We're
to
here
show
in
you
Rwanda.
examples of how when people are divorced.
We know that's what. Those are the examples you always give. Okay.
For once.
What is her issue? So you know how
We're
these-
about to finish this topic when we have
you know how these celebrity couples on social media, because their lives are out there, and sometimes they feel like they owe it to their fans to explain what's going on. So they just send out like a unilateral message. They're like, we decided to divorce because of this and this, but because we believe we are better apart than together, and we would like to grow separately. So there is not necessarily a fact that he cheated or she cheated or he beat her or anything else, but because sometimes,
But those celebrities, sometimes I think they're crazy.
of course, we can't get
So
into
they're
that.
okay, and then the next time you just see a post saying that, we
Like
decided
Jason
to sit
Derulo
down
and his girlfriend.
Did you guys watch a lot of movies? Too much Netflix.
It's
Too
not
much
movies.
Gojira. Too much
We're
of.
just saying whatever
the
is
shade
out
room.
there.
Okay.
In fact, you're backward, that's why.
It's okay. I would rather be backward than.
Then, anyhow, can we go to the
So
comments part?
let's hit the comments on Instagram. So this is from Kitununus. The question was, should parents protect their children from talks or conversations about divorce? And Kitununu says yes. And then Heyo Dancer says no. Bryant Joshua 2 says no. And then Richie Mayer says they should hide it all. Okay. And then Clementine 12 says no, because they are the ones to educate their children on how to care. Ahubwo wenda byadufasha ko byagabanuka. Okay. Yeah. They're the ones to educate their children. So Mr. Pierre 2050 says yego birashoboka cyane. And then Cedric RW says yes, they can. So
Yeah, and lastly, we have Murenzi Keve-chan, who inboxed us and said, no, they should not.
yes, so those are the comments. People have split opinions, but mostly we should educate our children on, not me, I don't have kids yet, but parents should educate their children on such conversations. At least do it when you can tell that they're ready to hear such conversations.
Exactly. Can I just give a message to, grown-ups, people who are almost starting new families and us who will start families, God knows when. But, if our parents didn't do it, then it's up to us to do it for the sake of the
let's
next
change the
generation.
cycle.
Exactly, for the next generation, which is going to be there. And these things are just, they keep on happening, circles into circles, and they continue happening until maybe the world is going to end. So for you who's watching us, you've started your family yet, you are just young or you're about to, please make sure that you become flexible. Talk to your kid about everything, because if you don't, then they will learn it from other people, which is the hard way, and they can, it's just better to get it from you as the first source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was our opinion poll. We're actually not at each other's throats for the
For
first
once.
time.
For once in our
glad.
lifetime.
Yes. So
For
thank
us, and
you.
I
And this
pray.
might be the last time, though.
Of course.
No problem.
Anyways,
So see you guys on Thursday. I hope you're going to have an
With the men's topic, because
Yes.
Tracy is just all about it.
think about different topics that you'd like us to discuss.
and then DM
hit
us.
up. Yes.
DM us.
Stay tuned for the rest of the show.